The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hello, and welcome to the Fall River Public Library's Story of the Month. My name is David Mello. I'm the Supervisor of Children's Services here at the Fall River Public Library. And before we start today's story, I'd like to introduce you to a friend of mine, someone who might be familiar to many of you at home, especially if you help Mom and Dad clean the dishes after supper. A little sponge. Yes, our first story is about a little sponge who is a big helper with a very big job. We'll learn all about her in our first tale, The Big Squeeze, written by Molly Harris. And there's the kitchen, and there she is, right at the sink, probably where your sponges are at home. A neat little sponge sat in a dish by the sink. She flexed her springy yellow corners. She polished her nooks and crannies, and she scratched her scrubby green back. I'm lean, mean, and ready to clean. When Cotton sloshed milk onto the counter, the little sponge washed it off. When Knife chopped the vegetables, the little sponge mopped up the scraps. When Toaster choked on crumbs, the little sponge soaked them up. Before she could catch her breath, there came a gurgle from the garbage disposal. I'm all clogged up and smell like old sandwich. Sighed little sponge. The little sponge did her best, but every time she scrubbed, she streaked gunk across the sink. Then, when Blender lost her cap, the little sponge lost her cool. If you notice, she's not that bright yellow anymore. She tried to clean up the mess. She swept and scoured and scrubbed, but instead she smeared and streaked and reeked. Whoa. The sponge wasn't little or yellow anymore. She was sopping wet and bloated and the color of muck. Crumbs and dirt filled her nooks and crannies, and she stank to high heaven. Whew. She felt heavy, weighed down, and totally useless. What am I supposed to do? Sobbed the sponge. Helping others is my job. What good is a sponge that can't clean? Suddenly, the Rubber Glove twins appeared. Looks like you could use some help. Need a hand or two? Can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, I need help. They pulled the sponge in for a hug and gave her a big squeeze. And out came the dirt, out came the milk, out came the crumbs. Oh, thank you. I needed that, said the little sponge. Then her friends treated her to the full spa package. While the little sponge luxuriated in a warm dip, Soap massaged her scrubby green back. Scrub Brush polished her nooks and crannies. And Faucet showered away all the extra bubbles. Then the Rubber Glove twins wrung her out with one more big squeeze and popped her back into her dish. The little sponge felt squeaky clean once more. Kick your feet up. You've earned it, said Dish Towel. We'll take it from here. With new pep in her step, the sponge continued helping out in the kitchen. She still swept. She still scoured. She still scrubbed. But most important, she learned to relax. She took breaks. She asked for help. And the neat little sponge always, always made time for a big squeeze. And that's the story of The Big Squeeze.
Hi, I'm Kyla Cabral, Library Assistant of Children's Services, and I'm going to read to you today Sour Apple by Linda Liu. I am an apple. Today is the start of the season, when every apple's life finds a reason. It's the day apples get picked from their tree. Everyone, except me. Why did they not pick me? Am I the worst of the bunch? Am I not even good enough for your lunch? Am I not shiny enough to sell at the market or tiny enough to be used as a target? Am I not sour enough to fill an apple pie or sweet enough to be the apple of your eye? Am I too ordinary to make or break your day? Not extraordinary enough to keep the doctor away? Maybe I'm a bad seed. Maybe I'm rotten to the core. Well, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, ruin me some more. Oh, this poor guy. Uh-oh. Peel me to a mere husk. Nibble me from dawn until dusk. Brew me into a bitter cider, and then feed me to that hungry spider. This is it. I've been buried alive inside a pit. No use in playing pretend. Looks like this is the end. But never could I foresee that one day I would become a tree. Maybe falling behind isn't finishing last. Maybe your season hasn't just yet to pass. The end. This next new book that we have is super fun. It's called Ursula Upside Down by Corey R. Tabor. Ursula was one happy catfish swimming through the world. And what a world it was! River weeds waved from above, and the rays of the sun shimmered from down below. And under the water were blue skies and scrumptious, buggy buffets. Yes, it was a wonderful world, until one day, Ursula met another fish. "I don't mean to be rude," said the fish, "but why are you upside down?" "Upside down? Me? Just look around," said the fish. So Ursula did. And just like that, her whole world flipped. It turned out that she was, in fact, upside down. Ursula was thoroughly mixed up. Was she frowning or was it a smile? It sure didn't feel like a smile. Was left right? Was right wrong? Which way was even up anymore? With a splash and a flop, Ursula landed on the shore, which was no place for a catfish, upside down or otherwise. "Help!" gasped Ursula. "Somebody, please help me!" But her cries were cut off by a thunderous flap, 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 as something big and terrible and ferocious swooped from the trees. "Howdy," said the bat. "I'm Vern, pleased to meet you." And he rolled her back into the water. Upside down or not, Ursula was glad to be swimming again. She filled her gills before hurrying back to the surface. "The pleasure is all mine," she told Vern. "And also thanks for saving me. And oh, you're upside down too." "Upside down," said Vern. "Says who?" Says who, thought Ursula. Says who? And just like that, her world flipped once again. From then on, Ursula saw things her own way. Yes, Ursula was one happy catfish. And here's an author's note. Ursula is an upside-down catfish, a species of catfish that lives in the Congo River Basin in Africa and spends almost all of its time upside down. Bats sleep upside down, snoozing as much as 20 hours a day, but they can't fly that way, although hummingbirds can. Or are we the ones who are upside down? The end.
My next story is called The Little Red Chair. And this is about a very special chair to a little girl. As a matter of fact, I'm sitting in a very special chair for me. I've been sitting in this chair for about 40 years now telling stories. And this chair is indeed very, very special to me. I can't think of telling a story unless I'm sitting in this chair. And so I know how the little girl feels in this tale, The Little Red Chair by Kathy Stefanik Ogren. The little red chair tightened its buttons and straightened its tiny brass wheels. Squeakity squeak! Maybe today, thought the little red chair. I'm going to start all over again. I'm sorry. I don't know if I actually missed something. The new books, the pages just stick. No. Okay. Sorry about that. The little red chair tightened its buttons, fluffed its tufts, and straightened its tiny brass wheels. Squeakity squeak! Maybe today, thought the little red chair. Look, Mommy, said Mia. That chair is just my size. Oh, Mia, said Mommy. It's tattered and torn. Mia scooched into the chair. No, it's cozy and warm. Please, Mommy, can we buy it, please? Please, wished the little red chair. Mommy sighed. I guess, but when we get it home, you and I are going to spruce it up. We're going to be best friends, whispered Mia. Every tuft in the little red chair fluffed. Mia helped Mommy choose new red upholstery, Mia's favorite color. The little chair stood patiently as they stuffed and stretched, pinched and pulled, stitched and stapled. Afterward, Mia polished the wheels into a golden glow. You're beautiful, she cried. Squeakity squeak. On cold winter nights, the little red chair and Mia snuggled by a crackling fire. On rainy spring days, the little chair played the tuffet to Miss. On spring days, the little red chair played the tuffet to Mia's little Miss Muffet. On days when no one watched, the little chair whisked Mia away for a wild ride. Squeakity squeak. The little red chair was Mia's throne on birthdays. Sometimes the two daydreamed in sun-filled rooms. Other days, the little chair listened to Mia's secrets. When Mia started school, the little red chair waited patiently for Mia to return home. As soon as the door opened, squeakity squeak went its wheels. As Mia grew older, she spent more time at school and with friends. Instead of cuddling, As Mia grew older, she spent more time at school and with friends. Instead of cuddling Mia, the little red chair cuddled Mia's backpack, books, and clothes. One day, the house buzzed with activity. Suitcases and boxes stood by the door. Mia put her arms around the little red chair. I'm going away to college. I wish I could take you, but I can't. Every tuft in the little red chair lost its fluff. Squeakity, sniff. Soon after Mia left, her parents moved into a smaller house. Movers stuffed the little red chair into a truck. Squeakity, squish. After being thumped and bumped, jiggled and jerked, the movers lugged the little red chair up, up, up to a corner of the attic. Please, don't leave me here. Someone come and get me, wished the little red chair. But no one came. Summer heat made the little red chair uncomfortable. 4 leaves scraped against the window, frightening it. Winter winds were not warm and cozy. Spring rains reminded it of Mia playing Little Miss Muffet. Loneliness seeped into everything, into every tuft. Until one day, the tap, tap of small footsteps woke up the little red chair. Boxes moved, toys and books tumbled. The little red chair tightened its buttons, fluffed its tufts, straightened its wheels. Squeakity squeak! Mama, come see what I found in Grandma's attic, shouted a young girl. It's my chair. A grown-up Mia wrapped her arms around the little red chair. They said you were lost in the move. How I've missed you. It's just my size, Mama. The girl scooched into the chair. I'm sorry, start again. It's just my size, Mama. The girl scooched into the chair. It's cozy and warm. It's time to bring our little red chair home and spruce it up, said Mia. We're going to be best of friends, whispered the girl. Squeakity squeak. And that's the end of The Little Red Chair. Now, if you enjoy these books, we have them at the Fall River Public Library, along with many, many other titles I'm sure you'll enjoy. We hope to see you at the library.